and the night return.
Well,
that was weird.
Madam?
Oh, my fucking eyes!
What'd you do there, Madam Beldam?
Didn't everyone ever teach you not to look directly into the sun?
So, Thame, go ahead and make another. Go ahead and make 3 Constitution saves, just back to back. We'll see how long this lasts. Okay.
Hey,
So you will regain your eyesight after 6 hours.
Okay.
Madam? What'd you do?
I move over here and just start punching the air.
I assume we don't have initiative turns or anything anymore.
No. You can move freely.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I put down a pedalin on the ground for now.
right. That should probably be a priority.
I'm just gonna lay there.
How does one heal someone who is on their deathbed?
Before answering their questions, I'm going to go ahead and cast Healing Hands
Okay.
on
works.
Pedalin.
Okay.
That's hit points equal to my level.
Okay.
So that would what, stabilizer at 4? Or
Yes.
just stabilizer? Alright.
I'm at 1.
No.
Or I'm at 4.
Yeah, I don't believe there's negative HP in 5th edition. You just go to 0.
So I start to twitch a little bit and groggily sit up and go, oh god, what happened? And I'm like rubbing my face, rubbing my eyes.
Okay.
Well, Madam here did something.
What kind of something?
That's a good question.
Are we
What
all
kind of
dead right
something,
now?
Melda?
No,
I think so.
you're not dead. Somehow.
To be fair, we might. The elf man might have just killed us all.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? All I know
Well, I
is
feel like
that,
somebody should
we're
know.
Here. We're still where we were. I don't know where we are still. We're still here.
So
lights are
other than what just happened, the situation has barely changed. If you look around, you'll notice that the gibbet is singed, as is the signpost, and all of the nearby grass on the path is like within, let's say, let me choose a here.
I assume some amount of my fur as well.
Yeah, pretty much anything that is remotely flammable probably is singed in some degree, but like the grass within this radius is burned away.
What of the trees?
Oh wait, you guys can't see that. I drew on the
No,
wrong.
we can't.
Nope.
This.
Okay.
Madam Beldam, can you please explain what happened? These guys aren't making any sense.
I'm not quite sure myself.
The singed area.
So the group may notice that Madame Beldam's blindfold has entirely burned away, and I'll leave it up to the player to describe what you see.
Oh, I didn't write down crap for it. No, well. So without Madame Beldam's blindfold now, you can see glowing silver eyes that were once hidden away by the blindfold. So Madame Beldam was
Oh.
not actually blind, but rather hiding her special eyes.
My brand.
And having realized everyone was now staring at her special eyes, go ahead and rip some of the cloth from my sleeve and wrap them back up again.
Okay.
You want to tell us what just happened? Special eyes?
Those are some neat eyes. Kind of sounds like someone's holding back on us.
Well, if... are they able to do, like, a history check, maybe?
It'd be religion, I think.
Okay.
I feel my way to the post and just sit down. I'm not
Okay.
doing a check because I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, crits on skills don't matter, but
Oh,
20 was the threshold for having some form of information regarding this. Now, I'm assuming we're talking about race here, right, Rumble?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So Pedalin would have some idea of what that is.
You probably just PM it to her.
Yeah.
Or you guys are in the same house, right?
Well, I'd have to like walk it or shout, and then you'd hear.
Okay.
Wait 1 sec. Okay.
Okay. What? Madam, are you... No. You guys seeing this?
What,
Special
those-
eyes?
The weird eyes? Yes. Saw weird eyes.
Is that some kind of joke?
A joke, no, but a legend, maybe.
Seems like you're the only actually blind one around here, Thame.
Yeah, you might need to give Thame one of those cloths for you.
Do you want to extrapolate on this?
So we're all
strange
waiting
thing?
for you to
I
explain.
don't know, I'm kind of afraid of her. Like, I don't know that,
Do you
that
back
she's
up?
even supposed to exist.
You
how
don't have.
How do you react to this? Because it's
Yeah,
going
you-
to greatly affect how
so-
I react to this.
So you don't have to speak in character. You can just explain what your character feels or is saying. That way, you don't have to script yourself through it.
Okay, well, I'm going to basically just tell the group that, you know, I have heard of people with eyes, or rather beings with eyes like that. They are, you know, not much more than an old legend or, you know, a bedtime story for children where they are a people descended from angels or some sort of celestial beings or things like that. So they're basically angels in human or mortal form who walk the earth.
But that you're pretty sure it's just a legend that's told to inspire
Yeah,
children
like
whenever.
it's not real or it's not supposed to be real. You never like, it's like the boogeyman or the tooth fairy.
Mhm.
I will look at in wide-eyed surprise.
Well, if angels can only procure shit carts, then maybe that's why the world is messed up.
You guys would probably also like, as far as celestial beings go, they're basically legendary in and of themselves because post sundering, the material plane was left on its own. So, you know, nobody's seen an angel walk the earth or any celestial being walk the earth in however long it's been since the cataclysm and the sundering. So the legends exist and you know, rumors exist, and people have talked about, oh, I found an angelic, you know, relic at this site where supposedly there was a holy battle and that kind of thing. But it's again, this is you guys are hearing about something that's definitely pre-sundering, and it's right in front of you, supposedly. So
I continue to stare at her in surprise.
yeah,
and
the reaction of like staring or mistrust or something like that is definitely valid. There, I mean, even doubt, but I don't think anybody here, regardless of your character's particular personality, would be flippant about it. If anything, you might think that she's dangerous. You might think that she's literally a god. I don't know where you would go from that. Just that it's probably not something anybody would treat nonchalantly, with the exception of Thame, because he can't even see it.
Yeah, no, I don't see anything. I just hear them like, I don't know, maybe like sigh or like in hush, like I don't know. I hear sounds and I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Just like sitting there.
Okay. It's Madam Beldam.
I'll go ahead and recompose myself a bit after the reveal and dust myself off and just say, shall we be on our way then?
Okay.
That's
Not unless you're leading me.
you don't want to, maybe tell us who you really are, or why
What
someone like
you
you
are?
would be hanging out with a bunch of factors?
I am but a mere fortune teller.
Huh.
Bullshit.
Is
Let
it
me see
because
the
you
inside
can
of
see
your
the
lip.
future?
It seems that Madame Beldam is loath to relinquish details to people that she, knows on the level that she knows you. So, perhaps another decision could be reached. What do you guys? What do you guys want to do?
You said that we've been journeying together for a while now, right?
I asked you guys really how well you knew each other, but nobody had a real concrete answer. You guys have worked together before, being all capable factors of the same region, belonging to the same city. So I don't know how much you guys know each other or how well you've worked together. Basically, the gist that I got last session was that you guys knew of each other, but nobody was really friends. You had all just decided to go and factor on your own somewhat recently. Madame Beldam leaving the circus, Thame leaving the monastery, so on and so forth. Petalin leaving her village.
All right.
But
Well, I
we-
guess
okay.
we should continue on our
Oh.
way.
All acquainted, but nobody really gave that sense of like camaraderie or friendship.
Yeah. I continue sitting down, just sitting there.
Okay.
I'm not moving.
I walk over to Thame to help him in a direction whenever we decide to leave.
I hit his
Okay.
hand out of the way.
All right. I just stand next to him
Okay.
because I don't know how to deal with any of this. So it's just focusing on a thing I can do.
Yeah. Does anybody want to even touch on what started all of this at all? I'm not saying start a blame game. Just.
But maybe don't
Whoa!
touch everything.
Whoa!
No.
Sounded
Again,
like it was a blame game.
not saying start a blame game. I'm just saying that it is a point of conversation that you likely might want to have. And
I'm
then,
gonna
and then
just
determine what you
kind
want to
of-
do.
While
Cat
you're
just had to
blaming
touch it,
me.
didn't you?
I'm going to be investigating Madam Eldon.
Just like peering at her in different ways.
Yeah, maybe sniffing her like as cats are prone to do.
Okay. Well, you guys just created daylight in what is roughly like the middle of the night. Who knows how far off that was seen, or what may have seen it. Something I guess I neglected to mention is that in the past there is an overwhelming feeling of like peace after that light, appeared and disappeared. Almost serenity
Yeah.
in the area.
I use the moment as like after I hit his hand out of the way to just kind of do my monk thing and introspectively channel all of my rage into like memories and like thoughts and stuff like that. And I just
Okay.
kind of like I want to know if I know anything about the things that attacked us, so I'm going to introspectively search, like, in myself to see if I have the knowledge of what we were facing. What
Sure.
what do you want me to roll?
Take advantage on a religion check.
Advantage on religion.
Well, you're pretty sure that what you were up against were a malevolent, like an undead creature, something that represents like a spirit consumed by despair, the soul of a being that perished in anguish or misery, and like that misery and anguish allowed it to basically rend its spirit from where it would have gone back into the material plane, and it's like they seek to trap others in that misery. It's just like they want to create more miserable, more misery, more miserable souls, more anguish, and that's really the best of what you can get out of what you feel you know.
Out of character, I fucking knew it. I knew what you threw at us. And
Well, I didn't throw them. They were just there. Let's put it that way.
Sure. I just
A
keep
lesson
this
to be
information
learned
to
that-
myself.
Yeah. A lesson worth learning is that just because it's there doesn't mean it needs to be touched, sniffed, licked, or inspected.
That's a good
Ahem.
point.
I don't know. I regret nothing.
I give Chain a dirty look.
Okay.
Alright. Well,
While they're sorting their own stuff out, I will go ahead and pull out my fortune-telling cards.
Okay.
Which in reality is just rolling a d6 to try and figure out which direction we should head.
those are tarot cards, right?
That's a trade secret, thank you.
Okay, my bad.
So I informed the group that we should probably head southwest.
Do you want me to actually, like, if you're reading tarot, I can actually do something with that.
Oh yeah? I was literally just picking a direction.
Then you would want to roll a d8 if you were going to do directional dice. But
Well, there
So-
were 3 options.
true, fair. So if you're pulling tarot, actually, what do you have for your fortune teller stuff? Do you have tarot? Do you have bones? What do you have for tools?
I just have a tool fortune telling, which
Okay.
is charisma.
Well, sure, but like, what physical representation do you want to have? Do you want to have like all of them? Do you want to be like a full service fortune teller with like the full tarot set, a set of bones, maybe some, maybe you carry a crystal orb and do whatever you want to do with that. I don't know. What do you have?
I don't know. I'm going the card route.
Okay. Do you have runes or bones of any sort?
No, I have a gaming set,
Okay, that's fine.
which I was placing in as the cards.
Sure. Okay, so you do a short reading. Make a proficiency check with your tools. Okay, so after communing with, your own spiritual energy, your own magical energy, or whatever it is that you're doing, you have a fairly good sense and are fairly confident that if you head southwest, you're going to end up in what you believe to be a town with iron-soaked sand, or sand that runs red like iron. And if you were to go north, you would end up in the top, in like the tops of the trees.
What do you see, madam? With your special eyes.
I
Choose
suppose my statement still stands that we should head southwest.
Okay.
Good enough
Alright.
for me.
blindfolded lady looking at cards, deciding which way to go. Sounds good to me.
Okay. Does everybody agree to go southwest? Do you share any of that
Somebody can
information?
help me up.
Do you share any of that information with the group, Madame Beldam?
No, just that we should head southwest.
Okay. All right. So everybody head southwest, yeah?
No,
Yep.
I don't move. I can't see
Okay.
anything.
Well, you have somebody
I-
literally waiting to guide you.
Yeah.
Do you accept his assistance?
No, I question why all of a sudden do we have a direction, and why wasn't this information shared earlier?
Okay.
We've just picked a direct. The madam has picked a direction for us to go. With her.
Who the hell cares
just gonna
about the
head-
madam? I say.
She's probably the reason we're still alive.
And why you're blind.
Also, why you're blind. So, weigh those two options. Up to you.
It's either that or stay here and wait for those lights to come back.
Yeah.
Which I
You
for
could
one,
come with us,
don't
or
wanna
you could
do.
stay here by yourself.
I think you know my answer. I say as I just sit there.
All right. Well, I start moving. After that, I tried.
How much? Sorry, Tame. How much do you weigh?
Trust me, a lot. I think I actually have it written down here. Hold on. I do not have it written down, but probably about a little over 260 pounds.
So not where we could like drag you if you were, say, incapacitated.
Oh no, you could totally drag him if you were incapacitated, but you'd have to incapacitate him, and that's bordering on PvP, and we don't allow PvP in groups of people that don't know each other.
Yep.
Settled.
Could we tie a rope around him?
I do have a rope. A really good rope.
You do have a really good rope.
You do have a good rope. You can try.
I also
I
have
don't
hold
care
person
to.
as a spell.
What is...
It-
Doesn't that
It's
just stop
basically
someone?
it's basically that same thing that Chain had done to him when we were in
Oh, right.
in William's
Oh, my.
cottage where he couldn't move. Just paralyzed
mean,
for
We
about a
can just
minute.
tell him where we're going and he can catch up. I'm sure he'll be fine.
I don't know.
Suddenly I feel more uncomfortable. I'm
perception
just-
Just
Make perception checks,
I'm not gonna bother.
right?
Yep.
So, 10 and above will notice that off in the distance, you think you catch the glimmer of lights. They don't seem to be getting any closer, but they are definitely there. They look familiar, like little hovering torches.
We should leave.
Bim,
We should leave like now.
if you want to stay here and die, by all means, but
I
I
tell
highly
Tame that
suggest
the lights
following.
are coming back.
I just kind of like move my head around as if I'm trying to look for them.
Alright. All you see is white.
Yeah. Everything is light.
Mm-hmm.
Can I? This is gonna sound silly. Can I roll like persuasion to see if
No.
I can persuade him to come with us?
No, but you can actually talk to the character and try and persuade him. Or you can even tell what your intentions are and determine, I guess you could roll persuasion to see how persuasive your character is, but there's nothing that you're really going to beat that's going to force him to do anything.
Right.
So if you want to explain your intentions and make a perception roll, or make a like a diplomatic roll, you can.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still up to him
Yes.
to decide whether or not he wants to listen.
Yeah.
Same, if you don't come, you're gonna die.
I mean, that's fair. It's a fair statement.
And I say that as I'm backstepping away.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna like.
As
walk
he
behind
says that,
him.
I'm gonna start getting up. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I go
So-
back to help guide him.
Okay.
I don't accept his help. What I do instead is I continue my meditation, and I can hear the footsteps of him right in front of me, and I just follow along suit, concentrating on
Alright.
him.
Let's say every once in a while you stumble over a rough patch of dirt, but you never really fall.
Sure. Yeah, I'm just one, like, out of character, one square
Yeah.
behind him the whole
Yeah.
time.
Sure.
Yep.
I
Maybe
make
you-
deliberately loud steps.
All right. So you guys are plodding down the southwestern course. Is there anything in particular that you're doing, looking for, saying, chanting, whatever along the way, or is
I'm-
everybody just grimly and quietly walking down the path?
On high
Um,
alert.
seeing if those lights are getting closer.
Okay. So as you leave the clearing with the gibbet and the crossroads sign, it appears as though the lights remain in that area. Perhaps they're drawn to the death of the traitorous sons and daughter from the scroll on the signpost. Other than that, are we just traveling onward?
Yep, I'm literally
Significance.
blindly following, so...
Okay. So, I mean, it's pretty late at night. You guys are probably fairly tired at this point. You may indeed want to... Well, actually, you know what? Because based off the time that you were teleported. So, what you can likely figure out... let's see. How intelligent are people here?
Well, I'm out.
Not
Yeah.
very.
I've got a -1.
Do we have anybody with brain smarts? Let's see.
Nope.
Yeah, me.
So, brain smarts or nature, whichever is higher. There's an intelligence check or a nature check.
Same.
Yeah.
Everybody can make that roll. All right. So the 19s will notice that when you were teleported away from from William of Wheaton's hut, you were teleported. It was approximately midday, and when you arrived instantaneously later, it was night. So, knowing what you know about, let's say, the way that the day-night cycle works, you've moved some great distance. Now, you may have moved east or west, you aren't sure, but the general feeling is that you are very far from where you once were. With that in mind, as you head southwest, you're pretty certain that it is growing later into the night, and that sunrise is still a good few hours off. Would you like to make camp or push through? The path itself is fairly wide for the first mile or so, but it looks like as it winds into the distance, it's definitely getting narrower and more wooded.
Well, now that we're free of the clearing, I would probably want to stop and camp for a bit. I'm not feeling so great.
Yeah, we got a blind guy with us. That's stopping sounds fine now that we're out of
I
that-
suppose it would make the most sense to stop and
away from those evil lights.
hopefully his sight will recover.
Okay. So you guys choose to make camp. Do you want to make camp on the trail, or do you want to go off into the woods a little bit and be off the trail?
Feeling traily personally.
I'm feeling a little bit off the trail, just so that we're not gonna like run over by anything. But like still
I
within
say
sight
on the
of
side
the
of
trail.
the trail. Yeah. Just right on the side. Not in
Yeah.
the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know who'll be passing by on the trail.
All right.
I mean,
Into
we're
the
going
woods
to
it
a
is.
Into the woods.
Or I guess never mind. I wouldn't know that. All right.
Nice JPEG.
Heck yeah. All right. So into the woods you go. So you guys head off the trail to make camp.
I suppose so.
I mean,
Okay.
Smarty Pants Eye Lady said it, so
All right. So you guys head
I'm
into the woods
following.
a short distance and set camp up. It's fairly standard stuff. You get your bedrolls, your fire going, your food, whatever you want to do. And then is there a watch order? Are you guys just kind of going to wing it? What's going on?
Well, there's
I'll take first.
Okay.
I have dark vision. Or, I mean, I can see in the dark.
Hmm.
I have the best perception out of all of us, yeah.
Okay.
I'll take second watch.
So the Tabaxi volunteers as first watch due to his keen senses.
Hopefully
Egg
it'll be a
volunteers.
little bit lighter by the time someone else takes
Egg-
over.
Egg volunteers second. And anybody else?
Good night.
Well, I
Blind people, you guys wanna...
mean, one of us is
Not really
completely blind, and two of us are a little ragged.
Okay. So let's say you guys traveled 2 hours down the trail before deciding to make camp. You didn't get as far as you might have normally due to having blind and 2 injured party members, but you made it a pretty good distance. First watch under the Tabaxi passes uneventfully. Second watch, your human fighter, go ahead and make a perception check, Egg.
All right.
Off in the distance, you think you catch the very first tendrils of light. Now, what you probably understand that being in the thick woods, being able to see any light means that it's a bit earlier or a bit later in the day than otherwise. You don't have a clear shot of the horizon. However, your keen hearing catches what you believe to be the sound of a horse whinnying in the distance. And maybe a solo shout, definitely feminine in nature. What do you do?
Can I ask a question real quick while out of character
Sure.
while he's thinking?
Sure.
How long? I guess my question is like, how much did we heal? Like, how much is it? A short rest that's passed by, or
You guys are doing a long rest.
okay?
How far off does the horse sound?
It's just in earshot. So you were straining on watch, looking and listening, and heard it.
Mm-hmm. I'll for now. I'll just wait to make sure it's actually coming closer.
Okay. So let's say 10 minutes passes, and off in the distance, I'm going to use that same perception roll. You definitely spot the silhouette of somebody riding atop a horse, and they are definitely headed your way. Well, at least along the trail.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll start waking people up then.
Okay.
Uh,
Yes. So during a long rest, what happens is, let's see.
You can use a hit dice, right, to regain.
At the end of a long
health?
rest, character regains all lost hit points,
Oh, even better.
and and then short rest is when you use hit dice.
Gotcha.
Does it still
So
count
it's
as a
been, well, that's it depends on what happens. So a long rest is extended downtime at least 8 hours during which you sleep or perform light activity. So reading, talking, eating, or standing watch for no more than 2 hours is fine. If you're interrupted by strenuous activity, which is an hour of walking, fighting, or casting spells, or pretty much any adventuring activity, you have to start over. So right now we are probably 3 hours into the long rest, so nobody is healed. But it looks like Egg is waking people. So you go through to start waking people up. What do you tell them?
There's someone on a horse coming this way. Just you might be fine, but just be aware. Just giving them the info
Okay.
for them
So
to
you
take
wake
with them if they will.
you wake people up and let them know, hey, somebody's coming this way. They're on the trail. Are you guys deep enough in the woods that they might miss you, or do you have a fire? What's going on?
I wouldn't have had a fire,
Okay.
but I don't know if you would have started one.
Being a human, you don't have dark vision or even like, well, there is no low light vision, so it's just a matter of would you have, used a fire as part of your watch or lookout? Egg.
Nope. Relying on my keen sense of hearing.
Okay. Is anybody else going to do anything?
I can go stealth check him out.
Sure.
I tell the group.
Okay.
Any objections?
So you
Okay.
guys just in like a sleeping
I
bag
won't touch it.
circle?
I'm gonna get out of my sleeping bag and just sit there all grumpy, just waking up in the middle of the stupid horse coming down the path.
Okay. So the half gnome grumbles to herself, and the tabaxi sneaks off. So go ahead and make your stealth check.
Cool.
Okay. So you sneak ahead on the trail a fair distance, and you are as silent as you could possibly be. Like there's never been a moment in dense woods with lots of foliage on the ground where you didn't even hear a crackle of a leaf when you made a passage before now. You get pretty close in what looks like maybe a young half-elf girl riding atop a young filly. And like she's just whistling and seems to be having a good time. The horse is laden with like 3 different packs that are all closed. You can't tell what's in them. And she's got like a shoulder satchel that is stuffed to the brim with something. She's wearing like a forest green cloak and has a small bow draped across her back and a quiver full of arrows. On her hip and several other locations that you can see them just because you're a trained adventurer. She's got lots of little daggers here and there on her as well. She seems confident.
Does she look like someone who would like a robber of some sort?
She looks like she looks like she's maybe 9 years old.
Oh, she's really young. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. What the hell? So she's just riding by,
Mm-hmm.
just like trotting.
Yeah. There's like a very casual pace on her young filly.
I don't even know how to react to this.
Don't you fucking steal anything.
Yeah, I'm
Shut up,
wondering if we
voice
should
in my
let
head.
him go off by himself again.
He did promise he
It'll
wouldn't
be
touch it.
fine.
He said he
promised I
wouldn't touch it.
I guess I'll let her trot by.
Okay. So you guys are going to attempt to remain obscured from her sight.
I mean,
Like you're not going to make contact.
no, I'm not going to make contact.
Okay. So as she rides by the camp, the horse seems to get a little spooked.
Well, does she come back to the camp to inform us?
Oh yeah. I mean, what are you doing here? Are you going to go?
Oh, I'm
people?
gonna watch until she leaves.
Okay. So you're letting her pass you.
Yeah.
Okay. So she passes and is headed toward the camp.
She's headed
Down the path. Like she will head past the camp because again, you guys are off in the foliage a bit. As she nears, the horse seems to falter for a moment and sniff the air, and its ears perk up and looks around, and she doesn't even seem. The girl on the horseback doesn't even seem to notice. By this point, anybody who is alert and awake in camp can clearly see her, can hear her whistling a nonsensical tune, and spots basically everything that I just told Shane. But the horse does stop eventually, probably, I don't know, 50 feet from where you guys are camped, and turns its head to look right at you. Again, the girl doesn't seem to notice. Eventually, she gets frustrated and impatient and kicks the horse's flanks. But instead of heading down the path, the horse heads toward camp. Anybody want to do anything?
But they can tell by now, right?
I mean, I
that-
hear a horse, but I can't see still.
You still got 1 more hour, I think, before your eyesight is back. Anybody? Anybody? Want to do anything?
I want to roll a perception check.
Okay. Are you looking for anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm gonna whisper.
Okay.
I guess I'm gonna stand up and like move behind a tree just so that there's a little bit of protection there, because we don't know what. Because this she's strapped, you know, she's got knives and a bow. I'm just gonna take a little precaution and just edge behind a tree real quick. Good.
Okay.
Good.
I go
Okay.
to stand like basically in front of the camp, so that
Mm-hmm.
if she was walking directly towards it,
Sure.
and the horse, they would meet me first.
Okay. So eventually the horse comes like within maybe 3 or 4 feet of Egg and stops. And I guess the girl finally is taken out of her daydream and realizes that not only is she no longer on the path, she is now looking at a group of strangers. She shrieks, tumbles back off the horse, and falls flat onto the earth. She scrambles quickly to a nearby tree, hiding behind it and peeking out very obviously, and asks in a shaky voice, "Who are you? What are you doing here? Were you here at night?"
I'm gonna lean out from behind my tree and go, yes.
My interest is squarely on the horse. I'm
Okay.
ignoring her.
Okay. The horse, if anything,
The
looks
horse is
annoyed.
Passive. Okay.
It's just like standing there, annoyed. More annoyed that its rider fell off than anything. Anybody else? No? Okay. So the horse then, walks slowly back over to her and reaches down to grab at the scruff of her cloak, almost as if it is impatient and needing to be somewhere, but she bats it away, and indignantly the horse seems to obey. She asks again, "You were here at night? Last night?"
Seems like it.
I'm kind of motion to our bedrolls on the ground and be like, yeah, kinda.
She like breathlessly utters the word "how," not directed at anybody, just kind of like to herself. She says, "Well, I'm Summer. Who are you?"
I guess I'll go ahead and make my presence known now. I don't.
She shrieks again and drops her pack and is now hiding behind the flanks of the horse, peering underneath the horse, looking. You can see the tops of from the top of her eyes down.
I'll kind of laugh and say, "Sorry, didn't mean to scare you there."
As she
Summer.
wraps her cloak around herself, everybody make a perception check. Madame Beldam and Petalind, you entirely lose sight of the girl. Chain and Egg, you notice that it is suddenly harder to see her, but you can still make her out behind the horse.
Hey, where'd she go?
She's still there.
That's an impressive cloak you got there, little one.
She glares at you, and you might have this overwhelming sense of like when creepy little girls in movies look at you the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got that feeling, like, so the hair on the back of your neck is definitely standing up at this point. There's no like threat in it. She's just glaring at you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But she asks again, "Who are you?"
Well, my name's Chain. I'll just go ahead and introduce everyone.
Okay. So the rogue volunteers everybody's names, and she says, "Okay, but who are you? What are you doing here?"
We're relic hunters who are stranded here.
And we
By
seem to
magic.
have lost our way.
We are
Wait.
kind of lost.
When you say relic hunters, she puffs up a little bit, and definitely the light comes back into her eyes, and the glare is gone, and she casts her cloak back off of her shoulders and is fully visible again, and is like, "Oh, factors, are you from Spira?"
I'm gonna step forward before anybody else says anything and says, yes, we are.
You wanna make a check for that deception?
Sure, why not?
Hey.
The girl smiles miles wide and is just shaking with glee, and she runs over to grab her pack and thrusts it out towards you, and within you can see it's just scrolls and missives and just miscellaneous foods. So it seems like the girl might be a messenger of some sort. She says, here. We've been waiting for news from Spira for years. Since well before I was born, since before my mother was born, since before her mother was born. Why has it taken so long?
Do I know anything about Spira?
You want to make a history check? Is that everybody?
No, are we all
Madam.
doing it? I was more or less uninterested.
Okay, that's fine. So, nobody knows a damn thing about it. You've never heard
Okay.
of what Spira is.
Just kind of look at him.
So her
Kind of
eyes
lit
are-
it up
yeah.
like, wow. I don't say anything, but I just look at her. Wow, look what you've done.
I just say, all in good time, little one. That's a tale that's too long for right now.
She gestures again, holding her bag out toward you. It's like she wants you to take things from it.
All right, I'll take the bag
Mm-hmm.
and I'll kind of hold it open and look at it. It's like, what's
It's- So it's like a shoulder satchel or like a purse almost, but tons of little pockets sewn into it. It doesn't really have a central pocket. It's like a crate with little cardboard square cutouts where each individual thing goes, and some of them have little scrolls and missives. Some of them have just an apple or some other weird looking food item. It's just full of messages and food. You're not 100% sure why she even handed it to you.
what is all of this, Summer?
She says, "It's for you. We've been waiting for Spira. The Pixie Patrol, that's what we do. We wait for news of Spira."
The Pixie Patrol?
She proudly pulls her cloak slightly to the side. You see a badge sewn inside, and it's like a young pink-haired pixie, on a backdrop of woods, and there's a horse. So it's like a pixie hovering above a horse with a backdrop of some trees. And she's like, "Yeah, the Pixie Patrol, us. Spira founded us. But you don't know what the Pixie Patrol is?" She
I just
kind of darts her eyes between each of you again, suddenly a little unsure, and takes a step back towards her horse.
I'll just
the
sit down.
Pixie Patrol. Oh yes, sorry. I haven't been out this way before. I thought you might be, I don't know, older.
The girl's eyes definitely half closed, and she reaches up to the horse, and she says, "Nathan, now!" And the horse takes off at a gallop, and she's holding on to it, doing a sprinting mount, and just bolts away.
Smooth.
Whatever. I got her bag. I take out an apple and I start eating it.
Congratulations, you have robbed a Pixie Patrol member.
I'm sorry. When was the last time you stole something successfully?
Oh shit!
Going to sleep.
Yeah, so are we going back to sleep, or are we?
I
Who
don't
wants
know.
to go through the bag?
I'll go through the bag. You guys
Here
get.
you go.
get
Have the
rest.
bag.
Okay.
I'm going back to sleep.
I'm not. I don't care about the food. I'm looking for any
Okay.
paper
So there
information.
are around 50 sealed missives, all wax sealed.
Is that it in
Yep.
terms of paper?
Yeah, that's it. That and food. That's all that's in the bag.
All right. I try to find. Can I tell like which ones are more recent, or are they all sort of the same?
They're all pretty much the same.
All
Some
right,
of them
I
are,
open
are
up.
a slightly more yellowed parchment, but
Mm-hmm. I'll open up one of them just to.
okay.
see
The
what-
moment you break the seal, the letter turns to ash and crumbles in your hands.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna open any more of these.
This is the most beautiful story I've ever heard.
Just continue to stare at the bag, and I have no other ideas.
Okay. You resume your watch?
Yes.
Okay. So the rest of your watch passes uneventfully. Who do you choose for third watch?
I check to see if Thane's eyesight has come back.
It seems as though it has. As you shake the half-orc awake, and his eyes open, they're no longer clouded and confused. He can clearly see that you have just shaken him awake.
I think when you shake me, though, like, the next thing you notice is that there's a fist right in front of your face, like, stopped at, like, inch from it. Just like, oh, what do you want?
I didn't want to wake Pedalin, and I didn't want to wake the madam for the next watch.
So you
I was
wake the
hoping your
blind
eyesight
one?
had come back. I was checking to see if your eyesight had come back. Has it?
I just get up.
It's like we got a bag from this little girl, and it's full of letters, but I opened one and it just turned to dust, so I don't know what to do with those.
I just walk away as he's talking. I care not of little girl letters.
All right. I just go to bed.
Okay.
Sleep.
I sit wherever they were probably sitting, like on a stump or something, and just...
Sure.
I kind of sit there, like, looking out into the distance, but kind of, like, using my, like, senses to detect stuff before my eyesight.
Okay. Sure. Your watch passes uneventfully. The sun begins to rise fully over the treetops, and by the time your watch is over, you are definitely in the very late stages of dawn. Who do you choose for fourth watch?
This will be last watch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hint, not the blind one.
It says the sleeping cat.
Yeah.
And
He's over and over again in his sleep.
He's talking in his sleep.
Not the blind one.
you can tell how much confidence I have.
So it's been 6 hours?
Yep.
I kind of don't want to wake Pedalin, though.
Well, it has now been 6 hours of sleep. 8 hours since you were blinded.
Right. Yeah, okay.
If you wake up someone, it won't interrupt their long rest. Because
Yeah.
they are just sitting here. They'll still get the full long rest.
Yeah.
I think I just walk over to Pedalin, pick her up, and set her where I was sitting, and then just, like, lean up against the tree.
Make a dexterity check.
Okay. That took forever to roll.
It did. Definitely a bit more klutzy than you thought. Maybe losing your eyesight for that long has
it probably
jumbled
fucked
your
with me.
senses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you attempt to pick up the half gnome and definitely fumble with it, and let's say you get her maybe an inch off the ground and drop her, so she just thuds back down. Pedalin, you're awake.
God, hey, what the hell, man?
Your watch.
Rude?
Jesus.
As I go back to the tree and just kind of like lean up against it, I'm gonna pick up that bag that I threw to the side earlier or whatever, or just like ignored, and I'm just gonna look at the seals and see if I recognize any of them.
You definitely do not.
Okay. I just throw back off to the side again. Just push it.
Okay.
Yep.
Petalin, doing anything on your watch?
Can I search the bag to see if it has any magic items in it?
You would need to cast Detect Magic.
No, but like just physically search it, not cast detect magic. Like, can I guess never mind. Guess I won't.
How would you know they were magic?
That's a good point.
Yeah, you would need to cast Detect Magic.
Abracadabra! Damn it, that one
If I
didn't
just
work.
like poke it with a stick.
What about this apple?
Alright, well, I'll just rifle through the bag and try to open up one of the letters.
Okay. So you pull one of the letters out of the bag and see the wax. Do you break the wax seal?
Yes.
It crumbles to dust in your hands.
Oh, useless bag of junk.
Make a perception check. The seals are stamped with some of them are stamped with the exact same sigil that the girl had on her patch, just the pixie hovering above a horse. The other ones are something a little bit different. So these are a pink wax, and the others are a gray wax, and it looks like the face of just like a normal human face, but the mouth is missing.
It's creepy. Alright, I guess I'll just sit my watch.
Okay. So, through Pedalin's watch, nothing majorly eventful happens. The sun has risen. It is now just past dawn. Everybody is waking up from your natural rest. You have completed your long rest. What do you do?
We get full health back.
Yep.
Nice. Alright. Well, let's keep heading southwest, shall we?
Why not?
Also, can I get some of that food?
Sure. Toss in the bag.
Okay. So you
Scrounge
eat from
around in it.
yeah, you eat from the bag. Just miscellaneous fruits and dried meats, things like that.
Anyone open any of these letters?
Well,
Turned to
I
dust in
tried
my
to.
hands.
Doesn't really work.
Got it.
Okay, so you guys continue to head southwest unless somebody objects. The path begins to grow narrower and narrower until eventually you are no longer on a path that could even suit a cart. You are forced to travel in single file. The brush is dense and almost impassable at times. You'll have to hack your way through with a weapon, or if you want to punch them for some reason, you could punch the trees aside.
This is the road?
Yes.
Okay. How the hell did that girl come through?
So,
And
well,
on
she
a
came.
horse,
She
no
came from the
less.
other direction. She came from the direction
Oh.
you guys came from. However, if anybody is looking, you will notice fresh horse tracks that were definitely made at some point today. You dive deeper into the woods, and off to the side, you think you catch the sight of another human being. Does anybody want to investigate?
Of course
Can
I
I
will.
roll perception to see if
Sure.
I can see anything better from here?
Sure. So, off in the distance, you're pretty sure that you see what looks like an adult humanoid figure peering out away from the road. They don't seem to be they don't move or anything like that while you're investigating or looking that way, but they have their hand up above their brow, peering through the woods away from you.
You want me to get closer? Do my rogue things?
I nod when he asks.
Seems the unanimous. Man, look, no.
Maybe
I
don't
g-
touch it though.
Again, with
Mardigan.
beautiful silence. As you say, don't touch it. You look to where Chain was, and there's nothing. He's just gone. So
Activated.
you sneak off ahead, and you're taking a look. And what is strange to you is that as you get closer, the figure is definitely not moving as in like they are perfectly still. The wind, like the very slight breeze through the trees doesn't even stir their cloak. And as you finally get close enough, you realize that is a statue of a person. Make a perception check.
Love these rolls.
Looking through, just checking your surroundings out, you notice that the statue isn't alone. There are probably 20 or 30 similar statues. Some of them appear to be young children. Some of them are adults. A couple of them are broken in various places, like an arm is missing or it was broken in half. And just like the level of detail and sculpture work that has gone into these is phenomenal. Like you can see the anguish and surprise in some of the faces, or pain even, where one looks like it was impaled by something. Just the carver took great pains in making sure that they were incredibly well sculpted.
They're not all in the same posture, or?
No. There's the one that's looking out. Some of them look like they're shrieking in terror. Others are like laying on the ground with their hand up above their face. Just like various poses. It almost looks like the carver carved a battle scene but forgot to leave or forgot to carve their opponent.
Oh my. Do these all look fairly similar?
They're all wearing similar cloaks, and all of them are male, and each one of them has a mask over their mouth, unless it looks like it's been torn away.
I'm gonna report back to the group.
Okay.
Tell them what I saw.
Okay.
And let them know that we should probably definitely be careful.
They were wearing
Well, that's not
masks over
creepy
their
at all.
faces?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but none of them had it over their eyes.
No.
So just over their mouths then?
Presumably, it's a mask that could fit over their face, like their full face, and essentially
Like
what
a
I'm
half
assuming
mask.
happened is whatever person they fought against could turn them to stone.
I reach inside Summer's satchel we took, and I pull out one of the letters with the gray seal with the face with no mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I wonder if the mask over the mouths has anything to do with this.
Does it look similar?
It's a stamp. It's not really. There's not enough detail in it.
Okay.
It's definitely a human, like a hooded human face, with that's just, like you can see the eyes, you can see the nose, but there's no mouth in the stamp.
They might wear masks over their face to mimic the sigil.
I was thinking. Yeah. Okay, that makes actually some amount of sense.
Well, do we want to go check out
Do
the...
we know of anything that could cause someone to turn to stone?
Let's see. That would be Arcana or Nature.
Let's see. Shit.
Is that everybody? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So a 12 plus, you are confident that you have heard tales of creatures that are capable of turning man to stone. You've never encountered one. In fact, none come to mind off the top of your head, even in name. Just that creatures exist with that ability.
Are we near the statues, or are we still back behind? Like, a ways away?
Only Chain went to investigate.
Yeah.
If you would like to go ahead, by all means.
Yeah, I do. I go to the closest statue. I guess it's the one that we saw, probably looking out in the distance or whatever. I'm just gonna. Sorry.
Chain, do you go with him?
No.
No? Okay,
I mean,
then
I might like hang back like a little bit just to make sure he's okay, but nah, I'm not getting that close. I've touched too many things.
Okay. So yeah, that's the first one you see then.
Okay. I'm going to go up to it and kind of like investigate it more. What I'm actually looking for is signs that this is a sculpture and not a human frozen in place. Like, I'm gonna look for tooling marks and that sort of thing that, like, a sculptor couldn't hide on
Is
good
there
inspection.
a reason your character would know what to look for?
Sorry, I would have mentioned. Oh, never mind. I get what you're saying.
What I would have... Well, I was told that it was a statue, right?
Right, but does your character have any reason to know what a sculptor's chisel mark would look like?
Oh. No, not really. So
Okay.
I'm not, like, great at
So-
it, but I'm looking to
Right.
see if there's any marks
Sure,
and stuff.
make an investigation check. It looks like, I mean, as far as you're concerned, it looks like it could very well be something that a master sculptor carved.
Right. Okay. I kind of knock on it a little bit, like, lightly.
It's solid stone.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go over to the quote-unquote statue,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to investigate kind of the area around it,
Sure.
and maybe the area around the next nearest statue, just to kind of see like if there's moss growing on them or what the plant life looks like. Just like how long have these things been here, basically.
Okay, so survival. Some of them definitely have moss growing on them. Others, others that have been broken, even you can see that perhaps other creatures or animals passed by because the stones are strewn a little further away from the initial break point, or even stepped on and ground into the leaves as you disturb the foliage on the ground. But some of them are even entirely covered by just like the fallen foliage. And as you're investigating the area and brushing away, there's even more than you initially saw.
I'm thinking that these things have been here for quite a while.
I agree.
Anybody else?
No, I'm staying on the road. I'm not.
Okay. Okay.
I'd rather not
Head
know
forward.
whether these are statues or statues carved by someone creepy who carves dying people, or because of some monster.
Okay. So you guys head onward, continuing down the path. After another several hours of travel, you come to a weird clearing, and I say weird because it has been cleared by man. You can definitely see tree stumps heading probably 500-600 feet from the beginning of the clearing to the next chunk of woodland. And again, you can see a clear, distinct trail has gone through. It's even been swept clear of any leaves or just like dead branches or anything like that you might expect to find here. And its circumference is probably, it's almost a perfect circle
Right.
as you come out. The path leads dead center of the circle, and then you don't see the path anymore.
Well, this is unusual.
There's not even any sign of where the tree trunks, after they were cut down, were dragged.
I'm gonna pick up a rock and throw it as hard as I can, just somewhere in the circle that isn't on the path.
Sure. You
So-
toss a rock out there, and you hear a heavy thud as it hits the earthy ground.
Okay.
Can I roll perception to see how old the stumps are?
Would you know that, or would your character know that?
I might. Living on the fringes, there would have been, some logging and tree cutting down in order to help maintain the villages.
How about this? Do you have proficiency in knowledge of nature?
In nature, no.
Then no.
Okay.
You wouldn't know. It's not a layman's knowledge. Anybody else?
I got nothing here.
Nope.
I'm not in the lead.
Madam Beldam, you've been uncharacteristically silent.
Well, not
Still
much
sure this is
to
the
add
right
walking
way?
through the woods.
Yeah.
Still sure this is the right way there, madam?
My cards told me southwest.
And what did the cards tell you about this place?
This place was not mentioned in the cards.
Make a perception.
How convenient.
Who?
Just everybody.
Roll 20 hates me today.
Yeah. 15 plus will notice in the distance on the opposite side of the clearing a very familiar looking young horse and its young rider atop it that appears to be watching you.
I'll wave.
Do you want your bag back?
Do you shout that across the clearing?
Yeah.
Okay. The horse stamps its hoof, and the young girl dismounts and slowly and very carefully walks towards the center, like very deliberately walks towards the center of
I
the
am
clearing.
memorizing everything she does.
She walks in a straight line. It's just a very deliberate path. Like she is walking with purpose, but slowly. She eventually stops in the center of the path, unshoulders her bow, and sets it aside. And she then sits in the center of the path and waits.
Should we go up to her?
Not you.
I start slowly
I'll go
walking.
ahead and approach her.
Okay.
I
Okay.
give Madame Beldam her bag.
Probably, do you have weapons?
Who?
I
Madam?
mean, yeah, I forget I have it though. I never use it.
When we get
I'll
there-
go ahead and cast aside my dagger, or hand it to a party member,
Dibs.
and I'll go ahead and approach her and sit across from her and place the bag down in front of me.
She looks at you and you place the bag down and she asks again, "Who are you? And why are you here?"
I'll go ahead and clear up some confusion. We are not from, what was the name of the?
Spira.
Spara.
We are not
Yeah.
from Spira. We are from, I don't remember the name of where we're from.
Wow.
Stone.
We yell.
We are
Okay.
actually relic hunters from Glitterstone who have been dropped out here. So we're quite lost and far away from home.
So as soon as you say we're not from Spear, her face just sinks. Like maybe there was some part of her that was still holding on to hope that you guys were telling the truth. And when you say Glitterstone, she gives you a puzzled look and she just kind of shrugs and shakes her head. She does take her bag back, and as she's inspecting it, she seems to stop and says, "Wait, where are the missives? There are some that aren't here. Did you open them?"
I turn back and look in the general direction of the group.
Just sheepishly.
I wave.
The
I
girl,
suppose, unfortunately, we may have attempted to open the scrolls.
Question: can we hear them?
I guess make perception checks, and 18 plus can hear.
Oh, so close.
My keen hearing has failed me.
We didn't hear shit.
I'm not listening. I don't care.
So you guys can hear voices carrying, but you can't make anything out. She just kind of sadly nods, and you are like, you see a couple of tears just like run down her face as she closes the bag and puts it back on her shoulder. She whistles, and the horse comes trotting out. She picks her bow up and turns away from you, and she says, "If you keep on this path, you will run to Red Shore Village. It's not the home. It's not the home, or rather, it is not my mother's home, but it has been mine for several years. You will not be marked. You will no longer be marked by the Silent Sons or the Pixie Patrol, and will be welcome should you reach it. I would take you, but I have somewhere else to be." She shoulders the bag, mounts up on the horse, and says, "Come on, Nathan." The horse whinnies and is on her way.
As she leaves, I just was feeling bad, so I yell, "Sorry for opening a letter." Sorry.
She doesn't move or change her path or anything. She doesn't. No recognition. Anyway, what now?
I walk up to the madam, ask her how the talk went.
I stand up and brush the dirt from the leaves off and explain the situation, that we're on path to a village, but I don't know if there are any people there, but she did call it her home.
Are we in trouble for opening the letters?
She mostly seemed upset that we were not from Spira.
Like anyone's even heard of that place anyway.
All right. Well, shall we?
I suppose we shall.
Okay. So we're going to speed up time a little bit here. 3 days of travel before you see any more signs of human activity after the clearing, and what comes, what goes across your field of vision is a grisly and gruesome sight, just like maybe 5 feet off the trail. There are eviscerated and butchered bodies. Some of them pinned to trees by spikes, and they're young boys, some young women, a couple of older gentlemen, and just like adult men and women as well. They are all wearing the same similar cloaks, but they are no longer a wooded green. They are a deep gray, and just like the light is gone from all of their eyes. And just looking at the bodies, they've been here for probably a couple of weeks.
Ugh.
Well, we might be walking into a war zone. The little girl mentioned anything about this?
She
I mean, when
just
the little girl is
told us
running
to keep
messenger,
walking.
you can kind of assume most of the adults are dead. That seems safe to assume.
Sorry, what'd you say, madam?
No, I just said that she told us to keep heading in this direction. She seems to know the land better than we do, so may as well put some trust in her.
Well, if she's out here alone and not being killed by whatever did this, she knows something.
Okay.
Her
So-
horse seems to have a good head about him.
It's a filly. It's a woman, or a girl horse.
Oh yeah.
Named Nathan.
Yes.
Is it obvious from the bodies if this was done by like weaponry or like beasts of some sort?
Do you want to investigate?
I do.
Okay. It is very clear that this was not done by like blades or even like an axe or anything like that. They are rent asunder.
Okay.
Some of them are chewed. Like even the ones that are pinned to trees are pinned with like a wooden spear almost. Very crude and rudimentary.
Okay.
She did say something about how she was surprised that we were out here at night.
Yeah, but
Let's,
we've been out here at night for 4 nights now.
Oh yeah, good point. What have we been doing at night? Just
Camp.
okay.
Standard stuff.
Nothing special happened.
Nope. Okay. So, on the 5th day of travel, since the clearing, you get your first real sign of any sort of civilization, or perhaps the first promise of where you were intending to be headed. The trail opens up again and is very clear cut through the trees. There are a few dead trunks along the way, and it looks like some form of creek running down into a pond off in the trees themselves. The first time you've heard running water this close, the first time you've seen any sort of path making other than just like the standard foot trail that you've been traveling on for some time. There is also the distinct smell of salt in the air. Move a couple of things here.
Run to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, please.
While he's doing that, can I see if I can fish in the stream?
Give me a sec. Hush, Molly. Actually, you know what? It is dog feeding time. Let's go ahead and take 5, if everybody's all right with that.
Sure.
And we need to feed the animals. I'll grab a drink. Everybody can use the bathroom.
that
So
sounds good.
7:32. Let's all be back here no later than 7:40.
Okay.